President Trump taking to Twitter to announce that he will sign an executive order temporarily suspending all immigration into the United States. This in order to help fight the coronavirus pandemic and protect U.S. citizens' jobs. This also coming as many governors are looking to ease restrictions in their states. Joining me now from one of those states, Republican Florida congressional candidate, Anna Paulina Luna. Anna, great seeing you. Let's start with the immigration. President Trump saying, hey, listen, it's pretty tough to vet. We talk about testing and adequate testing of American citizens to reopen the economy. It's going to be really tough to be able to test immigrants in a time like this. And it's also an effort to protect jobs as many of them continue to be in trouble.
I think the president made a wonderful and decisive decision in doing this. Right now, you see countries even like Australia doing the same thing. When you don't even have your Americans back in the workforce yet, why would you want to open up really people's lives to be only pushed into the welfare system? And frankly, by President Trump being able to do this, make this decision right now, not only is he putting the American people first, but he's making sure that people that do come here in the future are taken care of as well.
What do you make, though, everything, when it's something like this that's pretty obvious, around the world, folks have erected borders, walls in their borders, virtual walls, if you will, to combat the virus. It's a shut-in of not only their own economies, but cross-border immigration. And yet the media immediately pounced on President Trump. And it's the same old song of racism and xenophobia. And it frustrates me because how do we ever get anything done when sometimes the most obvious solution is simply the most obvious solution?
I think the fact that the media is trying to paint the president and this current situation, even though we're all facing a global pandemic right now, as something that's riddled in racism and xenophobia is ridiculous. I think that it doesn't focus on the fact that right now, if it weren't for President Trump's initial decision to shut down travel from China and then to put travel restrictions in place in Europe, that we'd be in a lot worse situation, that it was those decisions to secure our borders, to protect the American people and to lock that down as soon as possible is a reason why we're still safe right now. And I can tell you that here in the state of Florida, we do have a tourism-based economy, but I would rather have the people be safe than opening up to international travel and exposing people to more of a danger in the future.
Real quick, Anna, you talk about the state of Florida. We saw images of a lot of people flocking to the beaches. It's pretty apparent if you look around the world, like Denmark, the first moment they can get haircuts, they blew up. All the internet blew up because everyone wanted to get a haircut appointment at the same time. Reopening the economies, the southern states are doing it. The so-called blue states are resisting, in part because, again, it feels like it's more political than something that would just make sense for their citizens.
I mean, you look at the interview that Rep. Jayapal just did recently where she said that they haven't gotten what they've wanted. They are turning this international pandemic into a political plot to get what they want done. I think right now, obviously, in my personal opinion, that it's always best to let the states to decide what's best for its people. But I can tell you that there are certain states around the country, like California, like Kentucky, that are really going above and beyond, and in my opinion, operating police states that are violating the rights of the American people, are going really against the Constitution. And frankly, in places like Florida, where we do have a high concentration of veterans, when you have places shut down to where people can't even exercise, that creates a mental health issue. And you do have a study that came out from the University of Washington that stated that Florida is now past its peak. Sorry, go ahead, Charles.
No, Florida's getting high marks after a lot of criticisms a couple of weeks ago. Anna, great talking to you.